Alright gang, Hermes TERRE Eau GIVREE is out and I've got myself a bottle of it. I bought it from Bloomingdale's, which is really close to me. I walked over, I said, "You guys have it?" "Yes, we do." They said, "We'll be selling it tomorrow, but since you're here, we'll go ahead and let you buy it." So I've got a bottle, haven't smelled it yet. I'm gonna do first impressions on camera, let you guys know what it's all about. So if you want to find out about TERRE Eau GIVREE from the House of Hermes, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian. Yes, today I'm talking about Hermes TERRE Eau GIVREE. I've been waiting for this fragrance to come out. In fact, I did a video like several months ago, maybe 3-4 months ago, for the anticipation of this particular fragrance, and I also discussed, you know, the entire TERRE Hermes collection. So that fragrance is going to replace Eau Très Fraîche, and Eau Très Fraîche has been a favorite of mine, probably my favorite of the entire collection, because I use so much of the original TERRE Hermes, which is this right here. And this particular Eau Très Fraîche was so different. It doesn't really smell anything similar to the original TERRE Hermes. But because there's an ingredient here that I believe Ifra banned, so that is the reason why this is being well, it's discontinued already, but there's plenty of stock out there. That's one of the reasons why this is discontinued. And according to my research and from what I'm hearing from a lot of different people, there is this ingredient that's banned in fragrances. So we're going to see several of our favorite fragrances disappear and get discontinued and moved because they feature this particular note, and because it is banned, they cannot use it anymore in the fragrance. So when you remove an ingredient that is you know, so much part of a fragrance, fragrances get banned because you can't use that fragrance unless you can find an alternative or a replacement for it. But today it's all about TERRE Eau GIVREE right here. Right there. This is a long-standing series of fragrances initially launched in 2006. We are in 2022. This is the 5th version of the fragrance so far, and of course the 4th version is being discontinued. I'm going to let you know all about this. Before I do though, if this is your first time tuning into this channel and you still haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button below and also click the bell so that you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. Are you a fan of the TERRE Hermes series? And have you sampled TERRE Eau GIVREE yet? Let me know, put a comment down so I can find out. Also, let me know if you're a fan of Hermes TERRE Eau Très Fraîche. Are you a fan? Do you enjoy it? I find it to be a breath of fresh air with that particular fragrance. I think it's a great smelling fragrance. It's woody, citrusy, sparkly, effervescent, a little minerally, a little earthy, but also has some spiciness, like a cumin-y touch in there that I think a lot of people are turned off by it, but I absolutely think it's a breath of fresh air. It's a great scent. So if you are a fan of that fragrance and you don't have a backup, get yourself a backup bottle because pretty soon you won't find it. But when I went to Bloomingdale's and I bought this, they still had the Eau Très Fraîche there. So let's go ahead and open this up. This particular version is created by Nagel, and I think Eau Intense Vetiver, that particular flanker, is also created by Nagel. But the first fragrance, the initial TERRE Hermes, and the Parfum version were both created by, actually this one too, the Eau Très Fraîche, were all three created by Jean-Claude Helena. In fact, if you like TERRE Hermes Eau Très Fraîche, there is a fragrance over at Frederick Mall that Jean-Claude Helena also created, very similar smells. You can also get that. But I'm assuming if that fragrance features, if this fragrance features this note, I think it's called linalool, then if that fragrance also features it, that will get discontinued as well. I don't know. But let's try this one. It comes in a very frosted bottle, like this. Like this. I kind of like this. The cap is nice. These caps are, you know, this thing is kind of, I don't know, I've never really liked those. This is kind of a nice looking, classy looking bottle. It still has the H under there, as you can see. But this is a 2022 launch. Nagel has created it. I guess she took the original and then kind of stripped it down and created a version by herself. Its concentration is Eau De Parfum. Retails for 100 ml for $137. The notes are citron, juniper berry, and Timut pepper. So let's go ahead and smell this one and see what we think about it. But citron, so citron is kind of like a citrusy, lemony kind of a note. Juniper berry, it's also very, very cool and crisp. And then Timut pepper. So Timut, there's Sichuan pepper and there's Timut pepper. These are peppery notes that are not necessarily black pepper or pink pepper. And Timut pepper, I believe, has a grapefruity quality to it. So it might match the Citron's kind of unique bitterness of the citrusy touches. So let's spray this and smell. It is coming in Eau De Parfum concentration. The original is Eau De Toilette, the original Terre de Hermes. And then, of course, Eau Très Fraîche is also in Eau De Toilette. So I'm getting a whiff of very peppery citrusiness. Loads of pepperiness. But definitely there's a very, very zingy, grapefruity quality here. That's actually quite nice. Really, really nice. It's very fresh and also very frosted, cool, crisp. I'm intrigued by the citron note, and I'm assuming they've added this citron note and then matched it with the Timut pepper, because Timut pepper does have a kind of a grapefruity quality. It's like a peppery grapefruitiness, whereas Sichuan pepper has this lemony pepperiness. But this to me smells perfect, actually. Really, really spicy and a very, very tart citrusy and very, very frosty, cool, and very, very crisp. There are some metallic undertones and a little bit of mineraliness. So I'm getting also woods. They don't mention woods, but you know, Timut pepper, juniper berry maybe might have some woodsiness. And of course, maybe they're just crediting the top note, heart note, and the base note, the proper or the prominent notes. But I'm assuming this does have some woods, minerally touches, and metallic notes added. So it's very, very aromatic for sure. There's very much aromatic qualities here. Definitely bitterness. I think that Timut pepper with its grapefruitiness and then the combination with that citron definitely adds a very, very bitter quality to the fragrance, but very citrusy. So if you like grapefruit, I'm getting a lot of grapefruit here. I'm not getting much citron, more of a grapefruity presence, which I quite like because grapefruit is very, very trendy lately in fragrances. And when you smell this, it has a very grapefruity edge, which I quite like. I guess in the background, very, very far away, there is that kind of reminder of Terre de Hermes, but to me this is definitely completely different. It doesn't smell anything like Terre de Hermes except for that light hint under, very much under there. Like you got to really focus on it and you can kind of pick up some, you know, relation to the original. Same thing with the Eau Très Fraîche. Not much of a reminder there with the kind of Terre de Hermes qualities, but if you really focus on it way in the background there, you could have picked out some. I'm not getting much vetiver here or flintstone note that's supposedly prominent in the fragrance, flintstone. So I think that's the reason why I'm not getting that kind of reminder of the original. But on its own, it comes off very metallic a little bit too. I don't think they were trying to recreate Eau Très Fraîche. They were coming out with a brand new fragrance. I think this is a solid release actually. Because this has those like cool, crisp, frosty kind of qualities. I'm saying frosty, and I wonder if that's literal because this is a frosted glass. Maybe it was intentional because it is kind of a very frosty, cool fragrance. And because it is a very frosty, cool, crisp experience, this is going to be perfect for summer. I think this is a perfectly launched time frame for this fragrance, just in time for the hot days. But yeah, I like this. I like that zinginess, the zing spice, the bitterness. It's nice. Those are the kind of notes that I think will cut through the heat. I also like really tart fragrances for the heat as well, but this time, for this particular one, it's very, very zingy and spicy and bitter. So far so good. I really enjoy this one. I think it's going to be a solid release for men, although I don't think this is uber masculine. It does have masculine qualities, but because it's a lot of citruses, I think women can find this one to be pretty nice to wear as well, because it just has a very unisex quality to it. In fact, it's a little unisex, but a little masculine leaning on top of that. But other than that, it's a great fresh fragrance. Very, very fresh. Now I'm going to pause the video and come back and then let you know how it settles on me. But I'm really loving that smell. I think Christine Nagel, I'm going to pause it in a minute. I think Christine Nagel does do some good work. She used to do fragrances for Jo Malone until she took the role of in-house perfumer at Hermes. And I really enjoyed her H24. I really like that one. It's very light and a little, you know, it's very minerally kind of yellow floral experience. I'm waiting for an Eau De Parfum version of that particular fragrance, but I think she did a good job on this one. I'm starting to appreciate her work a little more than I did, and yeah, let's go ahead and pause and I'll come back and let you guys know all about this, how it settles on me. So in the end, it does warm up a little bit on me. It does get a little amberier in the dry down, but definitely woodier. You still experience the spiciness, but it's kind of like all blended together, kind of like woods and earthiness and metallic mineraliness with the the Timut pepper spiciness, but the spiciness tones down when it's settling to the base. The citrusiness does tone down as well, because up top it was all very, very bright and sparkly, effervescent and crisp and fresh and frosty, cool. But it warms up, and as it's settling down, it becomes a combination of everything, including the metallic touches and the woody touches. But there's a little bit of an ambery experience in the base, a very, very minute amount. But I think this is going to be a solid release. I'm really digging it myself. I think Christine Nagel did do a good job with this one. Is it anything new? I'm not really. We've smelled fragrances like this. Is it good quality? Yes, it is. I think, yeah, like I said, I think this is going to be perfect for summertime wear. It's very, very fresh, and the frostiness, the cool crispness is going to be like, subconsciously cooling during those hot months. But also, all year round, I think, where if you believe in signature scents, this can become a signature scent worthy type of scent, because I think, yeah, as I said, she did do a great job with this one. So I picked this one up at Bloomingdale's recently, and I'm not disappointed with this one. I think it'll be great to use. I like the way it smells. Also, how does it compare to the original Terre de Hermes? It's nothing like the original Terre de Hermes, not whatsoever. Even with the Parfum version, it's nothing alike. In the Intense Vetiver version, no. They're completely different fragrances, just like Eau de Fraiche was. This is a brand new fragrance with like a very distant DNA of the original, if that. I mean, when it was drying down, it became a little more obvious that it can be related to the Terre de Hermes DNA, but when you first spray it, it's not really, recognizable unless you really, really focus on it. One other thing I should say before I wrap up, a couple more things actually. As I said, this is discontinued. Eau de Fraiche is discontinued because there's a note or ingredient in here called linalool. I think that's how you say it, and I could be wrong with the name of this note or ingredient. A lot of you guys were messaging me and asking me about this note and mentioning that there are a few fragrances that feature this particular note, and because it's banned now, a lot of fragrances that do feature this note will get discontinued. So try and figure out what they are, and if you have favorite fragrances that features this note and you notice they are discontinued, grab yourself your backup bottles, because this is on its way out. I don't know. Do I like it more than the new one though? I can't think. I can't. There's always a special place for me with the Eau de Fraiche, but I'm liking this grapefruity bitterness here with this one and its metallic touches. So they're completely different fragrances. I'd have to think twice and wear this one a little bit more to kind of have a feedback with if I like the Eau de Fraiche more or the Eau Givree more. But I'm digging both of them, and I'm liking both of the freshness of both of them. Really great. I think Hermes is a very underrated designer house. They do have great fragrances. In fact, I think I like Hermes more than Chanel. I don't know, I'm saying that. But Chanel doesn't crank out... Well, I think cranking out fragrances also is not a good idea. But at least Hermes has lots of great fragrance selections, and especially for men, whereas Chanel is just like very guarded, and like they have a few fragrances, and they haven't launched a brand new series of fragrances for men in ages. Like the last one was the Bleu de Chanel series, but we've got H24 from Hermes now, and yeah, I think Hermes is definitely a great house for men's fragrances, and of course women's and unisex as well, and definitely Eau Givree, Terre de Hermes Eau Givree is a solid release. Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching this video, but let me just tell you one more thing. Some of you have been asking me to check out the new Bulgari Le Gem collection Oram. I have a sample of it. I'm going to check it out and see if it's worth owning. This is the same collection that has Tigar and a few other fragrances, so I ended up with 2 samples of Oram, as you can see where I bought my Terre de Hermes Eau Givree, and then also 2 samples of Guyane, an older fragrance from Bulgari's Le Gem collection. Any of you fans of these 2 fragrances, let me know, put a comment down. I might end up picking up both or one, or one or the other, but maybe not either. I don't know. I have to test them out. But I just wanted to let you know that I do have samples of those two fragrances. And Oram is the latest one. In fact, it's been out at Bulgari's website for a long time, and it was not available at Bloomingdale's either, but now it seems that they are back in stock again. And one last thing, if you are into that Le Gem collection of fragrances, go to Bloomingdale's here in the city in San Francisco. They have about 6 or 7 of the fragrances from the Le Gem collection. So if you've been looking for them, they are there. That's where I bought my Terre de Hermes Eau Givree. Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. Let me know your thoughts on Terre de Hermes Eau Givree. Have you tried it yet? Are you a fan of it? Do you hate it? Do you agree with my analysis for this particular fragrance? As I said, I'm going to put it to test a little more, but I'm digging the smell, and I think this will be perfect in the summer heat. It's that frosty, cool crispness that I think is going to do wonderful things when it's really, really hot outside. So let me know if you've tried it. Let me know if you're anticipating it. Put a comment down so I can find out. Either way, guys, thanks so much for watching. As I said, please like this video, please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.